All right, welcome back. So you did it. You opened your Central Depository and Settlement, or CDS account. That's awesome, a huge first step. But right now, let's be real, it's just sitting there empty. Today, we're going to change all of that. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to place your very first trade and turn that empty account into a real live investment.
So, you have this CDS account, now what? I mean, that's the big question, right? You've got the account, but looking at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, the NSE, it can feel a little intimidating. Well, that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. We're going to demystify the whole thing, and I'll show you step by step how to go from zero to owning your very first shares.
Okay, so think of this as the start of your trading journey. The goal? Simple. Let's turn that account into action. You've already done the prep work. Getting the account open was the hard part. Now it's time to actually hit the road. Let's get you all set up to make that first trade. First things first, we've got to get you set up to trade. These are the absolute essential first steps. See, before you can buy even one share, we need to connect that CDS account of yours to the market. But don't you worry, this part is super straightforward. We'll break it all down. And really, it all boils down to these three simple things. First up, you've got to choose your broker. Think of them as your gateway to the market. Second, we'll activate your account so you can actually log in. And third, you're going to fund your wallet. It's like putting gas in the car before a road trip. Let's dive into each one. Okay, your stockbroker. This is your essential partner in all of this. They're the licensed company that actually connects your CDS account to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Now, if you haven't picked one yet, there are some really popular options out there like NCBA Loop, SBG Securities, Dyer and Blair, the list goes on. And the best part? So many of them have fantastic mobile apps now, which means you can trade right from your phone. All right, so once you've picked your broker, you just need to activate your trading profile with them. It sounds official, but it just means giving them a few documents to get everything linked up. Your ID, your KRA PIN, and that new CDS account number. You'll also sign something called a trading mandate, which is really just a form giving them permission to, actually buy and sell shares for you. Once that's all sorted, they'll shoot over your login details, and you're in. And now for the really fun part, putting some money in your trading wallet. This is the cash you're actually going to use to buy shares. And honestly, brokers make this part so easy. You can usually fund your account instantly with stuff you use every day, like M-Pesa, a quick bank transfer, or just your debit card. Now, look at this. This right here busts one of the biggest myths about investing, the idea that you need a ton of cash to get started. It's just not true. You can genuinely start your journey on the NSE with as little as 1,000 shillings. Seriously, look, the goal here isn't to get rich overnight. It's to get in the game, to get started, and to learn how it all works. Okay, let's get to the good stuff, making your very first purchase. This is the exciting part, choosing and actually buying your shares. Your account is set up, it's funded, and now this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is where you officially go from being a saver to being an investor. It's a big deal. But which company should you buy? That's the million-shilling question, isn't it? The key here is to not just pick a name out of a hat. You need to start thinking like an investor. So you'll want to look for a company with a solid track record. How has it performed over the years? Does it pay out dividends? That potential extra income. What's its potential for future growth? And how stable is the whole industry it's in? And to make this less abstract, just think about the big, stable companies you probably deal with all the time. Companies like Safaricom, Equity Bank, KCB, EBL. These are super popular starting points for a lot of new investors. They're often a really good place to start practicing that investor mindset we were just talking about. Okay, decision made. You've picked your company. Now, placing the actual buy order in your broker's app is usually just a simple four-step thing. First, you search for the stock. Every company has a unique code called a ticker. Easy. Then you just type in how many shares you want to buy. Next, and this is important, you choose the price you're willing to pay, and we'll circle back to that in a sec. And finally, you hit confirm. That's it. Your broker sends the order off to the NSE to make it happen. So that third step, choosing your price, is actually pretty crucial. You basically have two main options here. The first is a market order. Think of this as the Buy It Now button. It buys the shares immediately at whatever the current price is. It's fast. The second option is a limit order. This gives you more control. You get to set the maximum price you're willing to pay, and your order will only go through if the stock's price hits your target or goes even lower. And boom, your order is filled. Congratulations, you are officially a shareholder. That's a huge milestone. But of course, the journey doesn't stop here. So, what happens after the trade? Well, that's all about managing your new investment. This really shows you the full circle. It's super simple. Just like you placed a buy order to get the shares into your portfolio, you can place a sell order whenever you're ready to cash out. The process is exactly the same, just in reverse. And once that sale goes through, the cash lands right back in your trading wallet. From there, you can either reinvest it or withdraw it. You're in complete control. Now, you'll definitely want to keep an eye on how your investment is doing. Your broker's app or their website is basically your home base for all this. It'll show you the live value of your shares, track if you're making a profit or a loss, and even list any dividends you've earned. And if you want to get even more detailed, there are also dedicated apps out there like MyStocks or Hissa that give you even more tracking tools and market news. Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle: investing with a strategy. This is the real secret to smart investing. It's what separates just randomly buying and selling from actually building long-term wealth. You absolutely need a plan. Think of your strategy as the map that's going to guide all your decisions and help you get where you want to go financially. So, before you pull the trigger on that first trade, I want you to just pause for a second and ask yourself a really simple but incredibly powerful question. Why am I doing this? What's the plan here? Are you saving up for a down payment on a house? For retirement way down the road? Your kids' education? Because your answer to that why question is going to shape every single investment decision you make from this point forward. So, for example, what does a plan even look like? Well, are you playing the long game? Buying into companies you truly believe will be worth a lot more in, say, 5 or 10 years? That's a long-term growth strategy. Or maybe you're looking for a more regular income stream, so you focus on those solid, stable companies that pay out dividends. Or maybe you're more of a swing trader, trying to make money from shorter-term price jumps. See? Knowing your why is what helps you pick the right path for you.
And that's really it. That is the A to Z of how you go from a brand new empty CDS account to being a real active investor on the NSE. Pretty cool, right? Now, of course, this is just the beginning of the journey. And next time, we're going to dive even deeper. We'll show you how to analyze stocks like a pro, using real examples from the exchange, so you can make even smarter, more confident choices. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. You know the steps now, you've seen the options, you're starting to think about your own strategy. So what's it going to be? What will your very first investment be? The journey for you really starts right now.